But the real problem that drives us to an F is you've got so many cars trying to get out of the parking lot, making a left turn, that it's a long wait for the people making a left out of Whitebrook Middle School. That's where the real issue is.
South
now,
Street
of course,
onto Park Street.
What's that?
South Street onto Park Street.
South Street onto Park Street is a complicating factor, but the numbers are the people that leave the Whitebrook. Now, what that does is people are impatient. So if you've been waiting for 5 minutes, obviously you're going to try to get out when you see a break, and that's what's going to lead to issues with the normal traffic flow that's on Park Street or coming on to Park Street from South Street. So the solutions that are being looked at have this is part of the reason why the mayor's got to kind of consider how much of it is a school project, how much of it becomes a city project. Because the solutions range from anything from a traffic light at Whitebrook, which really is more than just that because South Street is so close to the entrance, to traffic circles, to other mitigation scenarios that impact Park Street more significantly and the butters. So,
when I got, it wasn't a leap, but an idea that the traffic study was going to give us this kind of data before the report came out, and everything was synthesized into the document we'll all see. I did ask Berkshire Group to, at the end of the report, summarize some options and costs. And then I've already started conversations with our city planner, as well as our state representative around MassWorks money and what part of the project, the traffic, is attached to school project and not, and what the financing and funding options are. One thing I recall that really made me curious about what the traffic study would say is this idea that if the traffic issue is concentrated to the level of this F rating, and it's in the morning or in the afternoon, to get a police detail out there, and that, it's like, okay, that's an immediate solution, and we can control it, we can look, and it was really clear that actually wasn't going to help. In fact, might block the traffic in other ways, and that there were better solutions. So I anticipate the solutions to be complex, like the project, taking in a lot of different variables, hoping, the traffic study is what's happening now and what's being counted, but then looking, for information from the school district around who will be on a bus, who will not be on a bus, maybe a parent survey of who's going to be driving and who's not, and how that changes, and trying to factor that into one, I imagine, 4 or 5 options we might get.
So you would have a range of options and costs before the May 22nd vote?
I don't know. The traffic study will come out. I'm not sure about
cost.
What
if it's going to cost $2 or $4 more million to fix the road so we can have the school there? Is that going to be another cost to the town?
Roads and infrastructure are a cost now. And to start the MassWorks process to see if there's money available is important. That section of Park and with South is already on, a number of lists, and it's certainly not as prioritized as the school project would be. The focus of this process is creating a school rather than looking at a traffic solution. But it's up to me. It's up to me in the process to figure out what traffic solution I take on as a part of the school cost, and intensified by the school. When those exact costs will be available, I don't want to say May 22nd or before May 22nd, and that's not available. It's really technical.
I understand, but it's also important for the people in the neighborhood to know.
I agree. It's very important.